What's happening, everybody? Of course, it's your host, Brink Young, coming straight out of them South Memphis slums, and you are watching the most award-winning independent talk show in the whole South, none other than BrinkTV. Now, do not adjust your TV set because it's not that often that we have authors on the show, and when we do, we definitely got to get in-depth. Joining me on tonight's episode is none other than author Curtis L. Sangster. How you doing, sir?
How you doing, man? Glad to be here.
First and foremost, I got to say thank you for being a guest on the show. It really means a lot to have you on the show with us tonight, man.
Thank you for having me.
Now, of course, I did mention author, among other things. This guy's a full entrepreneur. He actually has a shoe company, shoe line out right now. We're going to get into all of that, but first thing first, we got to talk about the human being. So where exactly are you from, man?
I'm from actually from Stanton, Tennessee.
Okay.
But born and raised in Brownsville, Tennessee.
Okay, definitely got to say shout out to everybody out there in Brownsville, or as I like to say, Crownsville. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
All right.
So let's talk about what was it like growing up out there for you, man?
Man, it was tough out there. But my father, he disciplined me. He had me ready for all challenges, and I was ready.
Yeah.
But like everyone falls.
Yeah.
Everyone by the landslide. But I'm back now.
Yeah, definitely back and in a major way. Let's go ahead and jump into this book. So this book, we're talking about From Prosperity to Adversity. Now, of course, this is available right now they can get it from Amazon, correct?
Amazon,
Okay.
Barnes and Noble, and
Okay.
Dorrance Publishing.
Okay, so this book is available right now. I've actually had the privilege to, read quite a bit of it. I'm not just finished yet, but just to hear, your story. Wow. That's one thing I can say is wow. Those three letters. To hear, it was I think, was it the preface where it was
Right.
talking about, the situation with you, your mom, and your baby sister. That really, just from the inside, it broke me up because I couldn't imagine being 6 years old in a position like that. Would you want to expound on that or,
Yeah.
real quick?
Man, it was nothing but God, man. It was cold. We was young. I jumped out in front of a transfer truck, and the guy picked us up, man. And you can't find too many people that's honest like that and just turn kids into the police department.
Yeah.
And we were saved by him, man. And I appreciate that. It was nothing but God.
Yeah. And just to kind of add further context to the story, he was, him and his sister, they were with their mom, you guys were with your mother on the way to work, and the car broke down. You said it was on a bridge, right?
It was on a bridge headed to Ripley, Tennessee.
Wow.
12 miles from Brownsville.
Yeah.
And the car stopped, and a stranger came by and picked my mother up. And my mother said she'll be back,
Yeah.
but never turned back. Hours went by. It was cold. It seemed like the night got darker. And, man, and something just grabbed me out of the car and told me to get in front of that truck.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was God.
Yeah. And like I say, man, just from hearing it or reading it in the book, it broke me up on the inside. And I'm pretty sure it's definitely touching the viewers. So from there, your father actually got custody of you guys.
Yes, he did.
Let's go ahead and dive into that because that's actually a rarity to see fathers having custody of children. Let's talk about how growing up with your father kind of shaped and molded you.
I like to speak on this before we get into that.
Okay.
My grandmother
Okay.
helped him.
Okay.
Actually got custody of Sula Mae Sangster. She helped him.
Okay.
And so once he got custody of us, he set the tone at the gate that we was going to be disciplined.
Yeah.
He disciplined us. We know God. We was going to church. We was fed, clothed, and he kept us out the street, and we kept us in school, and he did his job.
Yeah.
And I respect him on that. And he showed me how to treat a woman.
Yeah.
And to treat life and to treat people, be respectful at all times.
Absolutely.
So, and I love my father.
Yeah.
He's no longer with us, but he left some good traits upon me before he left this world.
Definitely. And one thing I got to say, I read in your book that your father is actually a Vietnam veteran, and of course mine is too. So definitely shout out to Dad if you're watching.
That's right.
That actually inspired you to join the military
That's
as well, right?
That's right.
Okay, let's get more into that.
When he used to tell me, he said, man, I learned a lot by being in the military. and he used to tell me, "You got to be disciplined, Curtis. You got when you go to school, you got to tackle them books.
Mm.
You got to stay in them books because people ain't gonna give you nothing.
That's true.
You got to earn it." And so he used to take me out hunting. Me and my little brother, we was driving at an early age, planting the field. My granddaddy was all in the mix of it, and man, we had a growing, loving family, man.
Yeah.
And I loved them to death, and it was all about respecting other people,
Yeah.
and that's what he always taught us: respect the other person, no matter what, especially your elders.
One thing I can say about a few things that you said, those are a lot of lost elements that you mentioned. And I truly feel like your generation was definitely the last generation that received a lot of that because, my generation in the fields hunting, no, didn't happen. A lot of things were more video games and, all of the other things, technology or whatnot. But to have those traits or attributes or being able to do those trades, that's an amazing thing. And I feel like if the youth had stuff like that today in their wheelhouse,
Right.
we wouldn't see as much crime. We wouldn't see as much disrespect because, some things are lost.
Right.
Let's go ahead transition because, we did cover, you were in the military. You actually rose up through the ranks in the military, correct? You served in, was it Persian Gulf,
The
correct?
first Persian Gulf.
Okay.
And we went on a tour of duty to Somalia from the ship.
Okay.
And, like I said, I was physically fit, but I wasn't there mentally.
Mm.
Because, look, when they told us at 4 o'clock in the morning, when they gave us that live ammo, it was a lot of us.
Yeah.
We couldn't handle it. We was in awe, and we wasn't really ready. But like I said, God is real.
Yeah.
God is real, and He brought me back from that, and I'm fortunate. We had some people that died on that ship.
Mm.
So, but I made it back home. I rose up through the rank. I was disciplined. I used what my daddy taught me, and it worked out for me. But I lost focus.
Mm.
It's easy to get to the top. The hardest thing is to remain there.
Correct. Definitely maintaining success is not easy. Off camera, we were talking about a few things from your early childhood, from living with your mother. You guys were abused heavily.
Yes, we was abused heavily. We was taught to steal,
Mm.
and if we didn't bring nothing back from the store, we got beaten. I mean, like we was adults.
Wow.
I was tired of it, and she was beating us so bad that I got used to it.
Yeah.
And that what made me tough.
Yeah.
But there ain't no excuse to beating a kid.
Yeah. Definitely not.
And I wouldn't, I don't applaud that.
Yeah.
For anybody to go through that.
Right.
So if you're a kid out there, you experience that, you need to report that.
Yeah.
You know.
So I took us there. I took us this route to say that you were in the military, you rose up the ranks, you became successful, and then we saw a decline. So take us through the decline.
When I went through the decline, I was out there on my own, and life got too fast, and I got unfocused, and I tried a drug.
Mm.
And once I tried a drug, it left me for failure,
Mm.
and I set myself up for more failure once I continued to lie, steal, womanize, and it really hurted me, man. I love the Marine Corps,
Yeah.
and to reminisce on this, it brings back memories that you could never relive again.
Yeah.
Because these people looked up to me,
Yeah.
for once, and I felt the love, and that I never had felt before. So as I'm going through this, I'm wondering why me.
Yeah.
What I'm doing, man.
One thing that I gotta say is I'm actually having a few difficulties with this because from what you told me, you and your father was we're talking about the consummate dad,
Right.
teaching you life values, life skills. So it's like, where did these negative, attributes, like, where did this come from?
Because, once I got successful, I forgot God.
Mm.
See, when I was with my dad, he was teaching me the word. He was putting that in my head, God.
Yeah.
Don't forget about God when you get successful. Don't forget about anything that you do, you put him first.
Yeah.
So I forgot about him.
Yeah.
So that led all these demons, the devils, to I was on this playground.
Yeah. And then it sounds like that's where, the seeds that were planted from your mother, you guys stealing and being dishonest and stuff like that. It seems like it allowed for those seeds to rise up and become sequoia trees, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So when the money got short, when the money ran out, so I had to resort back to what my mother taught,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
And it didn't sit well to me this day because I blamed her
Yeah.
for leaving us on the bridge. I blamed her for teaching me how to steal. I blamed her for beating me.
Yeah.
But, as before she died, I never got a chance to forgive her,
Mm.
But I didn't forgive her until I wrote this book,
Yeah.
And like I said, man, it's a touchy feeling when you go back to a situation like that.
Yeah.
To put your heart out there, and and I wish no kid to go through this.
Yeah.
And it really made me turn from the worst to a high spirit,
Yeah.
back to God again, and to see how. I just want everybody to see how God works, man.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And like He did in the Bible days, He used David,
Mm-hmm.
which was a murderer, and He turned him into a person that worked it out for him, for God,
Yep.
best interest.
Correct.
And that's what I'm doing this for. I'm trying to motivate people and get them back on the right track, and to help this world to be a better place. If we can't all join in, we setting ourselves up for failure.
Correct.
Cause the kids are the future.
That's true. That's true. Now, a few things, man, if I could just dive through or scroll through a few of them, that I read in your book. Overseas, that's when you got turned out.
Yeah.
That's when you was introduced to, actually being an extreme womanizer and a drug addict,
Drug addict.
stuff like that.
Mhm.
So let's go ahead and talk about, was it any challenges for you to actually pull the shade up and reveal all of these things? Because, of course, in those moments, the only people know is you, those people, and God.
Right.
But to show the world your truths, did you have any reservations about it or anything?
Yes, I did. I had to look in the mirror to get myself right. I had to go to these programs to be able to face reality, to give people what I was going through, so they won't go through what I went through.
Yeah.
So my mistakes won't be their mistakes. So that's why I had to come to a point and look myself in the mirror and say, Kurt, when enough is enough.
Mm.
It's a different beast when you look in that mirror and see you doing something that you are not capable of doing under the current knowledge, the sense, the insanity. When you insane, man, you don't know what you can do.
That's true.
When you on a drug, that insanity is something else, man.
That's true.
But when you come back with that sanity, you come in the right state of mind, and you see yourself doing that. Oh no, man, did I do that? And it really hurted me.
Yeah.
Because my father didn't raise me to be that way.
Correct.
So I'm not blaming nobody. I'm blaming myself because I had a chance to protect the world. I was in the armed forces, and I had met my success. I was a sergeant.
Yeah.
So when I went overseas, I knew that drug wasn't good for me.
Yeah.
But I tried it anyway because I was caught up in a moment
Yeah.
with a woman, a
Yeah.
beautiful woman. But it caused me. a whole life of pain
Yeah.
and the remnants of my mother.
And so your life pretty much spiraled from there, prison, stint here,
Hmm.
5 years, and then
Hmm.
you get out, get a good job, things are going well, you're back to it.
Yeah,
And then it was pretty much the same thing. I believe you told me off camera that collectively you served 20 years in prison.
that's right. And what made me get it right is that I was facing 50 years.
Wow.
A lot of people don't get this chance.
Yeah.
First degree burglaries, B&E, breaking in college campuses, you don't get that chance, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, He had His hand on me the whole time
Yeah.
when I was a little boy. He had His hand on me then.
Yeah.
So for me to not acknowledge that, I would be only deceiving myself.
Correct. That's
You know,
correct.
and He saved me from that. He represented me in that courtroom. I went and represented in a physical form, but the whole time it was nothing but God.
Absolutely.
Set me up to come back here to save people
Absolutely.
with my story.
So let's go ahead and talk about, because you actually do speaking engagements.
Yes,
You
sir.
say you've talked to, was it the Boys and Girls
The
Club?
Boys and Girl Club in Brownsville, Tennessee, under Ray Jones,
Okay.
which was a coach of mine. And he called me up one day, and after I had called him and told him, I would be interested in speaking for the kids, and I had some shoes, and he told me to come up that evening.
Yeah.
So I was already prepared, and I went in there and spoke to the kids, and it was some good things that came out of that.
Absolutely. So with us being on the topic of, kids, we know that youth crime is a real epidemic right now. Not just in Memphis, not just in Brownsville or Haywood County or Atlanta. We're talking about all over the United States. So my question is, what do you say to a young child out there that's at risk, that's doing all of these things? What do you say to them?
What I say to them, man, is that's not your destination. Prison is not your destination. I wouldn't wish prison on my worst enemy.
Mm.
So why would you make that your destination? The streets, they're no good for you. Your destination is school and success, church, God. Keep them first.
Yeah.
And you'll meet your destination in success. But if you go to prison as a youth, you're setting yourself up to be raped. You're setting yourself up to be robbed. You're setting yourself up to be stabbed. You set yourself up to be a person that's a stalemate to the prison system if you do not get it together. So why would you want to go to a place like that?
Yeah.
That's insanity.
You right.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I seen the kids commit suicide.
Mm.
I seen the stabbing go on. I seen the extortion goes on with the young people. So why would you put yourself in a situation like that? So I beg for a kid that's going through it today, please seek help. Reach out to a sponsor or a father that cares, someone that cares, that's positive. Reach out to them. Report any misdysfunction with parents, beating, anything. Report that to a teacher or someone that you can trust.
I definitely would like to play musical chairs with that question, because let's talk about the adults. Let's talk about the parents. You do have a segment of adults out here that are afraid to even approach young people,
Right.
or they have already written them off as their failures, their lost cause. What do you say to those people?
I say to them, don't write them off, because did nobody write you off?
Correct.
And they need us. If you write these kids off, it's gonna be dark days for us if we give up. If we give up on our youth right now, it's gonna be some heavy dark days on us, because they are the future, and that's transcending the success for the next generation. Because we stop right now, it's gonna be a bad situation, and we got to send the right message. If writing them off is sending the wrong message.
Absolutely, I agree with that. So, hey, like you said, do not write them off. They are our future, and there will be some heavy, dark days ahead if you do. Now, let's go ahead and transition. We already got this book out. You're actually working on your second book as well, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's talk about it.
The second book is when that I gets out of military prison, knowing that I'm not gonna do right. When at the same time that I'm looking for a positive community, a new start, but in the back of my mind, I'm getting out for a woman,
Mm,
sex, drugs, because at the same time, I didn't rehabilitate myself.
mm.
You have to rehabilitate yourself. The gods is not going to rehabilitate you. So when you going to look yourself in the mirror and do the right thing when nobody's looking at you? You got to seek help. Go to um, these institutions that's renting help, and that's what I did on this last trip to prison. After I got out, I sought help. I used every avenues in that prison to become successful in life. And look at me now, with God standing by my side.
I love it, man. I can't say nothing but amen. But it's another thing that you got. You brought something. It's something over on the White Couch, man. What is that? It's
Oh
a bag,
man,
two bags. What you got?
I got a gift for you.
Okay. Hey, you got.
Vision shoes.
Okay. Let's talk about it. Let's see what we got.
These is lightweights.
Okay.
These 10 and a half for you.
Okay.
Um, they lightweight. They for dressy. They sporty, and you won't have to lace them up.
Here we go, y'all. So for everybody that knows me, know that I love to walk. I try to do at least 3 or 4 miles. These will be the kicks that I will be walking in. And don't be surprised if you see me sporting them on the Brink TV show as well. You will see that. So these are for me.
That's right.
All right, so what about the people out there they might want to, buy a pair and support? How could they do that? They can contact you,
They
right?
can contact me at
Okay.
an 800 number.
Okay.
They also can we got a website coming out
Okay.
with a new brand of shoes. Also, we got steel toe shoes coming out
Okay.
called Visions.
Okay.
That's gonna be in the warehouse for different companies to buy and to also sport their lightweight.
Okay.
The new version of Vision. And remember, this is a new walk of life. And the reason I came up with these shoes is during the COVID-19.
Okay.
People were losing hope, and they were losing their business. So don't give up. Be successful. Wear your vision, which is a new walk of life. And another thing with it, you got to put in the work. Vision without action is a wasted dream.
I love it. I love it. So, of course, like he said, you guys will be able to purchase them via the website as well as the 800 number. But right now, they could actually contact you like on Facebook and get them as well.
Correct.
Right?
You
Okay.
can contact me on my Facebook page, Curtis L. Sangster, Brownsville, Tennessee. You can look me up. It's an open page. Or you can contact my wife, Stacy Hammond Sangster. She's the bar owner. And also, she's my publicist.
Okay.
Yes, and she does very well. She's the reason why I'm making an effort as I'm making it. She's standing by me through this, and we're a team.
I love it, man. This
Team
is
Sangster.
incredible. It's incredible. Team Sangster is here to stay, not going anywhere. Let's go ahead and talk about one thing before we go. Let's get into these are available for men, women. You got colors, all sizes, and that everything.
Yes,
right?
yes, we do.
Okay.
We got red, white, blue, pink for the ladies. We also got red, black, white for the men. We also got a red lightweight shoe, which I got on a pair now. Vision shoes, and it's the up to date movement. Like Nike got,
Mm-hmm.
just do it. Vision got vision without action. It's a wasted dream. Everything starts with a vision.
I love it, man. It's incredible. And like I said, you can check out his Facebook. If you want to purchase a pair now, you really should. Like I say, I will be rocking these immediately. You know me. Y'all know how I do when people bring me stuff. I wear it. I do that. Now, this is my favorite part of the show. On Brink TV, we actually got 2 cameras. This camera right over here, this is your camera.
Yes.
What I need you to do is look into this camera and tell people why they should support your movement, why they should buy your book, why they should be a part of everything that you got going on. Go.
The reason why you should buy my book is because it's a must read book. And the reason why you should buy my shoes is a black-owned government, military owned business, and it's a movement that you will not regret because it's for your motivation and to be successful. The new walk of life and the new trend of shoes that will inspire you.
I love it. Hey, I can't say it no better myself. You guys make sure you guys patronize Curtis L. Sangster, this book right here, From Prosperity to Adversity. Like I say, it's a good read. I'm not finished with it yet, but from what I've read, it's deep. It's heavy, and you guys are definitely will be inspired by that. I got to say thank you again for being a guest on the show,
And
bro.
thanks for having me, man. You're
No
such
doubt.
an inspirational man.
Thank you, man. I
You're a
really
go-getter.
appreciate it. Thank you. With that being said, now back to more Brink TV.